What's up, guys? Fucking gonna make another video today. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. I took some time off from the charts and feel refreshed, feel good. And I'm just gonna get right into this. I took video notes today, so it's gonna be a little bit more formatted about what I cover. And I will go over Monero, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, Ethereum, Bitcoin, ADA, and XRP. I'm going to be talking about some potential shorts. I'm going to be talking about some potential longs, and just basically, I feel like this week is going to really, uh, if Bitcoin is still bearish, I'm pretty sure it's going to show this week, and I'm going to go over Bitcoin first. And I want to talk about the good points of Bitcoin. So this was the downtrend line on the regular scale. We broke that out, and now tomorrow we will be right above this twist. And a bullish scenario is us to kind of rip it through this twist and stay supportive above 1200. That would be that would be bullish as fuck. You know what I mean? That would be really, really good for Bitcoin. However, if you draw the fib from the high to this low, we are just over the 618 right now. And to hit, we would have, so, you know, today, if we retested this, or we just kind of pushed up tomorrow and then found resistance at the 50 fib, which would be 12.9, 12.6, somewhere around here. I would even say 12.9, 12.6. I'll draw it out like that. Like this zone right here. Find resistance and then move above this cloud. That would be a really, really good scenario. It's very interesting to see in the next 7 hours how this candle closes. Because if it closes like this, it would be more of like a reversal candle. However, this is the other thing. Tomorrow and the day after, we have to make contact with this bearish cloud. So if it's going to drop, it's going to start to show tomorrow or the day after. So that's why I'm saying this week, this week is really going to determine if Bitcoin is still bearish or not, in my opinion. Because if it's bullish, it's going to have to move above this cloud. If it's bearish, I think a lot of people might take profits and whatnot. 3-day is what I was anticipating moving into this cloud. So this week would kind of give us the first contact with the 3-day cloud. Today is the 5th, right? Yeah, 5th. So 5th, we got Thursday, and then we have Saturday, Sunday. So got to see what happens here. There's still this 8,600, 8,900 that I feel like if we fail to move up, there's a good chance we go 98, 95, or 89, somewhere around here for support. I have an alert at 9,000 set for Bitcoin. You guys should have an alert also. I'll set an alert now actually too for, let's say, if it drops below this fib area. So yeah, I'm gonna set an alert there. You want to set alerts. Sometimes you can even set alerts with trend lines too. Set alert on this ray, crossing the ray. So if it ever breaks this trend line, you get an alert, and you might look for a short. You might look for whatnot. But yeah, this is where I'm at. You have to understand something with Bitcoin. Whenever you have these big parabolic moves up and then the sell-off, it becomes really like traders trading the resistance and buying the support, trading the resistance and swing trading these things back and forth on its way back up here, and then eventually taking a long position at the top when it's breaking out, and all it has to do is break the previous all-time high. But you're going to find resistance in this zone, and then you're going to find a lot of resistance around this level, the 1500 level. This is going to be this. I'm pretty sure it's not going to break through on the first try, unless there's some really bullish fundamental news and CNBC starts pumping it and people start chasing the price. But yeah, usually when you have a move down, you can draw it this way or you can draw it this way. I'm gonna draw it this way because this is how I usually draw it. And I've said this numerous times in other videos. When the price moves down, this area, right, from here to here, these two fib points become the short zone. This is where everybody shorts. And not everybody, but there's a lot of shorting pressure. And usually when the price is able to break out past this level, this is when things usually get bullish. People stop shorting it and they go long. And there's a lot of buying support around here as well. People that want to, catch wicks or play back to support, the retest. So there's a lot of choppiness ahead of us. A lot of choppiness if we're moving up. I'm pretty confident it's not going to be like a boom. You know what I mean? I don't really see that at this point. It's going to be more of like a test, back test, go up, test again, boom, test up, test up. So yeah, that's Bitcoin, and also the log scale. If you take these two highs from the log scale, and we are about to test this area again too. It matches up right with the resistance zone that I was talking about. But yeah, look for this area here. It's gonna make like a double top from this previous high because we've yet to make, like, on a 3-day or on a daily, we have yet to make a higher high. This was the previous high, this is the low, this is the high. Now we made a higher low, but now we're waiting to make a higher high, and the higher high matches up with this twist. So there's a good chance it pops through this twist. I'm not gonna front, I'm not gonna lie, and then it gets supported around here. But I want to see how this candle closes because so far it's painting more of a curving pattern, like it's curving out. And I know when it gets close to this cloud, it's going to experience a lot of down pressure. So today and tomorrow is very important on the daily to look at Bitcoin, in my opinion. Besides that, sorry, let me just see. This thing might turn here. 3-day. 3-day painted it up. This is pretty high though. This we got above 50, but I'm expecting a little retest here. So there is a good chance we go through this cloud. I was leaning on going through the cloud, to be honest, because let me show. Do this one thing. It's important to keep your eye on this because the charts can fake you out, but for me, like Google Trends, this is exactly what's happening in the world. People are searching for these terms. Buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. Is still low. It's still trending down. Um, you know, this was the peak. This was the highest it's ever been, and it's still trending down. So there's not real interest because when people want Bitcoin, they go on Google and they type in how to buy Bitcoin with credit card, how to buy Bitcoin with bank account, where to buy Bitcoin. That word, this actual term, buy Bitcoin, gets used so much when people are actually looking to buy it, and when it's really low, it's like, well, what the fuck? People are obviously not looking to buy this shit right now. So where is where is the buying gonna come from? You know, is it gonna be a trader who just buys it through here and maintains it and supports it? You know, is that gonna happen, or are we headed to what I was talking about before, which was sorry, which was Was it wrong here? Yeah, it was like this. So this level here, I was expecting this to get hit, this 5,000 level. So is this the move up to this area, 12,800 at the top of this? Maybe we move down here and then move up and then we sell down. Who knows? Or the 3 day might push us through. I'm just saying that I was expecting this to get hit, but the price popped before that. A lot of people are still expecting at 5,000, but I'm not gonna just sit around for 5,000. I'm gonna play the moves and preserve my capital and use stop losses and try to accumulate more USD if the moves are going up and protect my USD if it's going down. But yeah, that was basically this buy bit. This is the 90 days, so the 90 days includes the top. So over 90 days, we're at 5. Like this is the lowest it's been. We have a 4 here, and then we're at 5. So there isn't new money coming in. So this is just trader volume going back and forth. You want new money. New money is going to get this shit really bullish. So that's why I'm not so sold on this thing just like like people act like, oh yeah, there's nothing bearish about Bitcoin. I just can't stand like all over the internet. I keep hearing people saying there's acting like there's nothing bearish going on with Bitcoin at the moment, and it just shows their bias. So try to stay neutral. I try to have a plan for if it's bearish, a plan if it's bullish. We haven't even retraced 50% of this move up. This is the real resistance that we're experiencing right now. This is huge resistance that we're experiencing right now, and if we do go up and hold this area, it's going to be choppy, and I expect other coins to pop up, other top 10 coins, and those are the coins I'm going to go talk about right now. I'm going to try to keep this a little bit faster. Okay, so let's go with, first off, let's go with ETH USD. Yeah, this thing, I have a low of 413. If Bitcoin goes to 5,000, I would really expect this to go down this low, cut it in half. But what I was seeing was 6-hour cloud. Ooh, it just popped down from here. But there's this downtrend, right, from the high to the swing up. And we are right here. We are right here. So keep your eye on it to hold this. If this cloud starts breaking and it starts rejecting the cloud with wicks from the bottom, and it can't break this line, and at the same time Bitcoin finds resistance at where I told you to, and it starts to pull back, this thing will pull back too. So this looks very similar to the Bitcoin chart, except Bitcoin has progressed a little bit higher. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing for Ethereum. And what else was on the daily? On the daily, it's supportive on the bottom cloud. So, if you guys want to go long, you could go long around this cloud at 449, 450, around here. I would do a really small position because it is kind of going flat now. So it could go flat and pop out of here. So it fell out of the cloud, it went back in, now it's being supportive. And then, yeah, it would probably, if it would break 800, I would do a small entry here if you're going, and then maybe add to your position as it moves up here. If you are bullish on Ethereum, I think you're going to see a move in this week. I think this week we're going to get a lot of moves and some kind of confirmation about a lot of these trends. What else did I have here? Supportive daily cloud, I put that there. I'm going to talk about Ethereum, Bitcoin. Ethereum, Bitcoin is supportive. This daily cloud as well. If we look at the RSI, we double topped the RSI and we had a divergence, and now we're getting a divergence at the bottom here. So it's making a lower low on with the price action, but the RSI is showing that it's actually making a double bottom. So this thing could bounce. Some people are shorting, but this thing could bounce a little bit higher and then come down. I would not short it here. Uh, I would wait for it to break this cloud and maybe trail a short behind it. I'm expecting a bounce here. If Bitcoin goes above that log, stays supportive above it, and starts to chop through that resistance, then I could see this thing potentially bouncing, unless fundamentally something changes. But I'm also, yeah, this thing could, and then for my short thing is like, if you do want to short this, I would place scaled orders up until this region here, this area here. Go 3-day and place bids above this top of this cloud. There's a good chance this thing gets a bounce right now, comes up, finds the resistance, and moves down. And it could move down to 54, or I have 62. This part of the cloud or this part of the cloud. So this could be a good short to get more Bitcoin. If you look at the weekly, this thing is about to cross and it could paint down. So the Ethereum BTC is looking more bearish. I would build shorts from 78 to 82. And if you want, you can even do a small long from here. Pretty sure we're going to get a bounce, to be honest. That's just me. You can see it stopped at the 50.49. And this is the weekly. So one more here, one more here. In 2 weeks, you might start to see this thing make its next leg down. Yeah, so guys, targets 50 to 60 for take profit. And then short, you want to go 78 to 82. You want to build your short here. You want to slow play it. Slow play it. Don't rush into it. You know what I mean? Slow play it. And then when it starts to move down, you can start adding to your position, and you can start to take profits on resistance zones and manage your trade. I can't tell you how much of being successful at trading has to do with how you do position sizing and using your money as a way to, average down and just kind of minimize your risk and your loss, because the first play, you're just kind of betting on the direction. So if you're putting 100 in there and you take a hit, you're going to start chipping at your way account fast, and you're going to need, a 3x to make back all those chips. But if you're taking, 20% of what you intend to play on, 50%, 30%, something like that, put it as the first trade, you can have a generous stop, you know what I mean? And you can actually see that if your stop is not getting hit and the price is getting supportive before your stop, you can take the rest of your money, you can add it to your position, you can average down, you know what I'm trying to say, and ride the move back up. So I can't stress to you guys enough times how to be patient and how to manage your position sizing, and understand that, having your first entry be a small position when you're doing margin, how much that's going to put the odds in your favor, holding majority of your money back, and then being able to add to it as it starts going your way. And that's because when you put all your money and you put a generous stop and you hit that stop, I mean, you're going to take a big fucking hit. You know what I'm trying to say? So remember, you have the whole year to trade. You have 2 years, 5 years, you have the rest of your life to trade. Don't just try to kind of hit it off big on one trade and then just go ball out in the Cayman Islands. Like, really, like, treat it, come with the patience and the discipline, and really just have this in your head that you're going to make sure the odds are in your favor at all times, and try to just make trading always as favorable as you can to yourself. And the best way to make it favorable to yourself is to really be patient and really, really, really stick to that original analysis. And along the way, don't start moving, your stop losses and your take profits, because nothing fucks trades up more than going against the original analysis, you know. And if you are going to do all those changes, write it down and do an analysis about why you want to make these changes and compare them with your original notes, and then be honest with yourself. Is my new thesis, is my new analysis as good as the last one, or am I just fucking being greedy for another 20%, 30%? Right. So, all right, that was that. Let's get into Litecoin. Litecoin. What do I have for Litecoin? Okay, Litecoin. I have a 3 day flat. I have a 3 day flat. So this thing looks like it's about to make a move, just like Ethereum. It's facing its downtrend. So this thing could pop off here, and if it pops off here, I have a target around. I have this as a target. This zone here. Uh, yes, I would have this as a target if it breaks down. If it breaks down, though, if it goes up, sorry, if it breaks down, I have this target here, 159, 162, 171. So this is going to rely on what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is facing some resistance now, so you may want to wait for that to play itself out. You may just want to do a small position here. Maybe put a stop loss at 200. Yeah, if you enter here, I would put your stop loss at 200. So put a small entry here, and then you can always add to your breakout, because if this thing does break out and Bitcoin looks strong, you're going to have a really good upside. So keep that in mind, or just place your bids around 202 and 206. Scale them here, and you could probably catch a wick. So that's how I would play this long. I would take and from 206 to 201. I would place bids here. So if you want to buy 100 Litecoin, I would place 20 bids, 20 Litecoins here, and then I would do a stop maybe around 198, 196, something like that. A little bit generous, And then the other 80, I would add that, on the breakout here. I could add that back on this cloud with the 3 day, because if we break out here, I feel like we're on a wick. We might wick this cloud and test it for support. So there are a lot of ways to kind of play these breakouts up. However, this thing is like, to me, this is just too fucking bearish. There's no way around this. This is way too fucking bearish to me. This is like telling you like just how disinterested new money is to Bitcoin. But we're going to play it both ways and make it play to our advantage, because end of the year, I feel like crypto is going to be real hot shit. So that is that. Daily support above the cloud as well. So yeah, this was the other thing. If you want to get an entry, 209, somewhere around here, if it's bullish, yeah, if it's bullish, I would probably play 209, maybe just below it, 208. Place some bids here, and maybe you could buy more. But this thing could still go for another week before it reaches this. So slow play it. That was the trend line. And yeah, we had support around this fib area, this 618. So yeah, you can basically scale it into this cloud up until here. If you want to go long on Litecoin. Okay, what's the other one? Is XMR Monero. Monero looks like it might make a huge move up. If this is a third wave, let me show you guys this. I drew this earlier. So we have wave 1, wave 2. Fourth point, respects point one, and this thing to me could go to 1,000. Yeah, I'm expecting a target around 1,000 for Monero. I feel like someone has been trying to accumulate it. If Bitcoin does sell off, like I told you, and goes to that 3 day, I would look for entry between 294 and 266, right? Um, Basically, the daily cloud support and have the 1,000 target. Let me see what this looks like on the 3 day. Yeah, 3 day cloud support is where I told you that 268 or 294. Starting to paint up on the 3 day. So Monero looks strong. 1 week. 1 week. Yeah, this thing might paint up here. Monero looks quite bullish to me, to be honest. It has a lot of room to grow on the 1 week. Daily is showing signs that it could still go up a bit more. Maybe it could double top this area, this 400 area. So when we look at the BTC, we have been trending up, and around here we are trading the triangle, right? We have been doing this triangle. We had a double top here. If you're looking to go long on the BTC pair, uh, spread your bet from 30. I would say 30. Yeah, 30 to. I'm just gonna try this. Spread your bet from 30 down across this line. So how you want to do it? You want to go to a daily, and then you want to be like, okay, 27. Place some bids at 27. Place some bids at 28. Place some bids at 29. And try to catch this pullback, because this kind of, if you look at the US chart, it looks bullish, and then if you look at the BTC pair, it looks bullish as well. So the lowest it could probably go is probably tagging this top of this cloud. It depends what happens. If this thing makes a move up and Bitcoin gets too choppy, this thing looks like it's about to pop off here. It was sold down really hard and tried to be suppressed, but the story that ascending triangles are telling you, and I'll explain that here, is that, for example, the price goes up and someone, developers, people who had the ICO or whatnot, not that this had an ICO, but they'll start to sell off. They'll take their profits up here and they'll just sell and sell and sell and sell and sell. And they've made so much fucking money and they've cashed out so much that they try to hold the price down and use their cash to buy more. And when public interest is really strong, they can't keep it fucking as suppressed as they would like to. So it sells off, but it's still, public interest is really high, so it starts to make higher lows and higher lows, and then it hits. Someone sets a wall where they're really trying to sell it off. You know what I'm saying? They're really trying to get the price not to fucking break out from here, and just the public interest builds up, and now it's getting to a point where it's like a cooking pot, and the people that are kind of putting sell walls, they're stuck making a choice of, do I keep trying to suppress this price? You know what I mean? And have the price break out and me having to chase that price or fuck myself? Or do I just say, fuck it, I've accumulated as much as I can. At this point, trying to accumulate more is going to cost me money in the future. So they stop selling and the price could take off. So that's basically the price action story of, ascending triangles. So this is in a clear ascending triangle. The USD looks strong. The BTC pair is looking strong as well. Let's check some indicators. Yeah, this is painting up. The MAC is turning around. The weekly is looks like it's been sold out, but I mean, still, nothing about this thing looks bearish or like it's about to reverse. So yeah, I like Monero, and if you are going long, I would put some here, and then I would try to see if you can get if there's one last sell down, go hard around this 29.30 area, and even harder at 27, I would say. Yeah, let me just look at this at the 6 hour as well. 6 hour, 6 hour. Yeah, 6 hour. We never tested the cloud, so there's a good chance we hit 28 on this one. 28, 27. So if I'm gonna put longs for 28, 27. Because if Bitcoin, I told you, is chopping, and this thing makes new all-time highs, uh, the Bitcoin value is going to increase a lot here. And then when you close out your trade, you're going to have Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin takes off, you can really get double the money. So accumulate more Bitcoin, then the price of Bitcoin will eventually go up. And this is a really good trade. It's a little bit more trickier to trade BTC pairs. You have to really make sure that Bitcoin is flat and stable if you're trading BTC pairs, or else you could really eat a dick. However, in this case, it looks like we are going to have a choppy Bitcoin. The next 2 days, how I told you about the twist in the cloud, look for that twist. And if that twist kind of doesn't happen, and instead BTC goes into the cloud and starts chopping around in the cloud, and this thing gets impulsive, then this is gonna be a really good trade. A really, really good trade. Okay, that was XLR. I got LTC, I got Ethereum, I got Bitcoin. Let's get into everybody's favorite shitcoin, Ripple. Ripple BTC pair. There's kind of impulsive move up here. This could be, it is kind of supportive around here. This is what you would call a support area. Yeah, so it could go sideways and reaccumulate. However, there was some news I heard from one of the boys in the chat that Coinbase rumor. I've heard it before, but take it with what it is. This BTC pair, it has a good target, 20% target on it. However, let's see what this did. Really looks okay. Starting to paint up. You're buying it in a support zone, so if you are interested in this trade, then yeah, this thing is about to make a decision whether it's going to dump. If this thing does dump, it'll dump down a lot, and I'll show you that on the USD chart. USD Ripple. Because on the USD chart, the 1 week, basically 19 was the flat zone where the price went sideways before we had this move up. So I drew my fib from here to the top, to 3.3. We tagged the 88.3 level, reversal level. We came up, we tested this level. So if you are interested in Ripple, I would place a bid at 86, and then from 86 scale on up and see if you get one more dip there. 3-day is like the 1 week is showing, if Bitcoin goes strong, I think this thing will go with it. 3-day is getting smaller. 1 day. Whatever. But there is this trend line that I drew here. Basically, where the trend starts, we hit this 19 cents, and then from there we move on up. We never repeat. We never come back. That's exactly where I drew the fib. There's a trend that starts here, and if you look at it on daily and zoom out, we went below it, we closed above it, and now we're close to it again. So if this thing is like, with Monero, I showed you that first wave. This thing could potentially be setting itself up for a second wave, up to $6, $7 or whatnot. So buying it around here under $1, I think in the long term could help you. As long as Bitcoin doesn't go really big. If Bitcoin goes very bearish, this thing could fall to 40 cents, 20 cents. I really believe that. But if it doesn't, you're buying it close to this trend line. You're buying it close to this fib, 86 area. I would place a bid at 86, 87, a long bid, and try to ride this one out, because when these things pump, they pump really hard. And seeing how Ethereum and if you look at the history of Ripple and Ethereum, usually like one pops off, if Ripple pops off, and then Ethereum pops up afterwards. So the last run we had up here, uh, while it was going down, Ethereum started to ramp up, and they were fighting for that number 2 market cap space. So now you see it kind of get supported and go sideways and make contact with this trend line. So, and if you look at Ethereum, like I showed you in the chart, it's facing the downtrend line. So if it's not able to break that out and Bitcoin stays strong and supportive, I would like to think that Ripple would be the one that takes off. And I would set a huge target for this one, to be honest, if it does take off. So this is a good area to open up a long. I would open up a long from, $1 all the way down to this 86 scaled order, and just kind of be patient with it and see where this goes. If you go on the 6 hour, we just popped out the cloud of the 6 hours. So 97, 96 is a bullish entry, but also at the bottom of the cloud you have an 89. So if this thing was to go sideways, pull back down into the cloud, and then make a move up, and check that out. 3-day momentum changing, 29 cents, the lowest I had, 97 cents above. So yeah, I was saying enter above 97 cents in the short term, and then you can go longer at this area here, 88. If Bitcoin was to fall to 89, I would expect this to fall to 8,900. I would expect this to fall to 89 cents. All right, that was that. I'm going to go through ADA. ADA BTC is following this trend, uptrend. It's getting really close to it. I'm seeing a divergence start to play out on the daily as well. Here you have a lower low, but over here it's kind of flat. So this thing is about to turn around here. It's basically at the support zone. ADA is a great coin, I think. If you the way Neo got hyped, ADA can easily get hyped the same way. This is a really good entry to pick some up. I'm picking some up for sure around this entry, and I'm keeping my eye on this channel to take profits if it gets to the top of this channel or whatnot. I do feel eventually that this price will go down to 12.98, but in the meantime, I feel like it is kind of risky to play it here. But I would keep a stop under the 78.6 and try to average down. But you're basically buying at the support here, and it's been so oversold and suppressed. I think it's due for a pop. 6 hour, see it going into this cloud, and then we have the 1 hour. I think I was looking at, the 1 hour made it into the cloud. So I would place bids around 76. Just buy here pretty much. I think it's a good buy. I think it is a great buy. 4 hour, no. 3 hour. The 1 hour's in there. I think the rest will start to follow. I like ADA. If you look at it on the hourly, however, you can see these suppression wicks. somebody was selling it down to reaccumulate. But now I think it's starting to get strong. This was an anticipated zone for patient traders, and I think it's starting to show uh, with the divergence and everything that people are starting to pick this thing up. And maybe the guy who is suppressing it will have to wait a bit and let this thing pop a bit and then continue on his accumulation. Last but not least, Ethereum Classic. This is the one that I am probably looking to short. There was airdrop supposed to take place today. Bittrex wasn't supporting it. So I think this thing is going to start to get sold off. 27. I'm expecting a bounce around this zone here, the 27. Uh, and I'm expecting a retest of this cloud. If you want to short, I would short from 29 to 32. Yeah. And I don't even think 32 will get hit, but I think that would probably be the top. So I would scale short in here. I don't see this thing becoming bullish unless they're hiding news from us. The airdrops tend to lead to a sell-off. Just keep your eyes on the airdrops, and you might want to open up your short because this might pump before the airdrop and then sell off. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, the airdrop is tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I was expecting more of this. It didn't really happen, so this might be a good short. 32. Once again, enter small and add to your position on pullbacks. Don't get fucking greedy. What else did I have? So I had Ethereum Classic 6-hour cloud. Yeah, so this part here, it broke out of this cloud. If it's very bearish, it'll start wicking the 28 area, the 29 area, and not make it back into this cloud. It'll just wick it. So keep your eye on it for the next couple of 6-hour. And the BTC pair of it, if you want to short it, I don't know because right now, this is BTC. BTC. Yeah, it's kind of in this support zone. This is really where if it's supposed to bounce, it'll bounce here. There's a divergence on the 6-hour, the BTC wise. So the USD and the BTC charts aren't really matching up as much. But if there is a sell-off, the USD value is going to get really affected. So I would be shorting it in USD. If you want to short it in Bitcoin, I would do 27 to 3100,000 satoshis. Yeah, but I would expect this thing to bounce first. So I wouldn't short it here. I would like to see if this thing could bounce up and then short it. If it does drain here, it's just because Bitcoin got impulsive. And like I told you, all that kind of resistance that it's dealing with, I don't see it getting impulsive yet. Tomorrow, maybe, because there's the twist. So, like I said, you got to really watch what happens today, tomorrow, and this week in particular, because I think this week we could probably get strong confirmation of a trend reversal, depending on how it reacts to that 3-day cloud, how it reacts to the daily cloud, and how it breaks that log down, and then how the coins fall off afterwards. So yeah, these are the coins that I'm going to be playing this week. Maybe there'll be some other alts. I'll make updates. Guys, once again, join the free Telegram group. It was an ICO Telegram group, but, it's been kind of, my expertise is not ICOs, and there were other people that their expertise for ICOs. Then they went and they started their own group. So this group has not been the way it was before. So I'm just going to rebrand it as a free group, free trading group. I'm going to pop in there, 2-3 times a day, and I'm going to take requests to do charts. I'm going to answer everybody's questions, and I'm still going to have the premium group. The premium group is still going to be worth the money you pay for it, but I'm going to have a free group now that people can discuss stuff in. If you're emotional, if you're a FOMO, all that stuff, you'll probably get banned. I'm not with trading. I'm very picky about who I keep around me, and if you want to be a student of it, that's fine. I'll work with you. But if you're not going to be a student and you're going to be emotional, then I'm not going to fucking work with you because it affects my trades. it affects everybody's trades. And one of the reasons why the premium group is so good is that everyone there is kind of aware of this and they're serious about it. Because when people put money, people put money where their mouth is, they take it a lot more seriously. So I have a few personal friends in that group, and since they're personal friends, meaning they've helped me out at my lowest times, I've known them from high school and elementary school, and I just gave them a pass to try it out, and they don't participate because when you don't pay for something, you don't value it as much. So I will rebrand that this week. You can still join it, and yeah, subscribe. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sorry if it made it a bit long, but it's the beginning of the week. I'm going to be turning 33 this month. I am going 30 days strong. I'm meditating every day. I'm praying every day. I'm writing to-do lists every night. I am hitting the gym every day. Even when my muscles are sore, I'm just going on the Stairmaster doing 200 floors. What else am I doing? I'm eating good. I'm waking up early, and I'm trying to read a book a week. And also, since I can be a real negative piece of shit sometimes, I'm doing a daily gratitude journals where I just wake up every day and I get a piece of paper and I just write everything I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for Bitcoin. I'm grateful for girls. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful that I still have my arms. I'm still grateful that I have my feet. And you know, I've done these gratitude journals before for 30 days, and it was just crazy the changes that came into my life. If you really want to reprogram yourself, if you're walking around like a miserable piece of shit, I highly recommend gratitude journals. And who knows, maybe I'll make a video in depth about that later. So, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you guys make some money. Hope you guys fucking crush it this week. And see you later.